What's going on, everybody? It's Bulls Nation Station back at it again with another one. Hope you guys are having a really good day today. And I'm going to talk about a couple topics. But before I do, if you're a real Bulls fan, like this video and subscribe to my page, as I'll be talking about Bulls content all summer. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and dive into it. So one of the first things I want to talk about is the DeMar DeRozan dilemma. And the reason I call it a dilemma is because DeMar DeRozan, he's been excellent for the Bulls. He's been everything you could ask for and more. But at the same time, his contract is coming up to an end. And we have to decide, well, we don't, but the management has to decide if they want to retain him or not going forward. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And so on one end, how have DeMar DeRozan been for the Bulls? Amazing. He's been a mentor for all the young people. He's been a clutch player in the clutchest moments for the Bulls. You know, he's got an MVP chance. He's represented the Bulls for the All-Star ever since he's been here. He's put up record numbers that players haven't played since Wilt Chamberlain. DeMar DeRozan has done all those things. He's been great friends with the likes of Zach LaVine. He's been a good, player for Billy Donovan. So why is it a dilemma if we should decide if DeMar DeRozan should come back? One reason is, on a lower note, his age. DeMar DeRozan, he'll be turning 35. And, a player can only play so good for so long until they start falling off. But, I really am not too concerned about age, as DeMar DeRozan, he has such a great mid-range game. It's such a great grounding game. Kobe was his mentor. And the way Kobe adapted as he got older, that's the same way DeMar DeRozan has adapted. And DeMar DeRozan still has good athleticism, so I'm not really worried about him falling off for the time being. But another reason is the contract situation. What if DeMar DeRozan is still playing such great basketball that he's commanding a max contract, and the Bulls are still not championship contender or the Eastern Conference contender? At that point, you kind of have to reset. If the Bulls are not making the playoffs consistently, it's kind of tough because you invest so much into these players, but at the same time, you have to start looking towards the future also. If this isn't working, you have to look at the young players so they can develop. Everybody's looking at Patrick Williams and how he's going to develop, but it's tough for these players to develop if you don't have the ball. And, they kind of have to look at that for the future. But again, DeMar DeRozan has been excellent. And he's been the reason we won so many games that we have won. But at the same time, just like every other team, the league is evolving. And if, the team that you have isn't making the playoffs year after year, you kind of have to hit a U-turn on the continuity. And so that's a big reason for DeMar. And, DeMar DeRozan, he's a great player. I mean, he might want to leave. He might want to go and get a championship before it's all said and done. He might want to go back and return to L.A. DeMar DeRozan, it's not just the Bulls' decision, but it's his also. And I feel like DeMar commands enough respect that if he wanted to lead the Bulls, will honor his wishes. From all points and signs, DeMar DeRozan, he loves Chicago. He loves his teammates. He loves training his young guys in Dalen, Ayo, and Patrick. It's a dilemma, and that's something that the Bulls fans should keep an eye out on. So after this season, it's going to be interesting to see what the Bulls want to do. Maybe the management wants to see how he looks alongside Lonzo, if he returns. So we'll have to look into that, but it's definitely a dilemma that will be solved after this year. And so I brought up Patrick earlier, and I want to talk a little bit about that because it's going to lead to my next topic. And so there's a little clip going around of Patrick Williams, dominating at the pro basketball run. And, of course, he looked good. He looks great. His shot looks a lot quicker. It looks a lot smoother. He's shooting little fadeaways. His ball handling looks a lot more confident. All of that needs to translate to the NBA. Kind of look at that the same way as a lot of other players. The shot and the ball handling has to improve for a lot of these players. And I feel like that's the key. That's the key to unlocking a lot of, offensive talent for the Bulls. The shooting, we have to have way better shooting, and the ball handling. Imagine if P. Will averaged way more drives to the rim if he decided to handle the ball. Imagine how dominant Zach LaVine would be if his handles were tighter. Same thing with Ayo. Kobe White, you guys seen he involved his game and took his game to the next level because his handles got tighter. His handles got a lot tighter and became a more confident player. And so if a lot of these players can work on their handles, that's the reason why DeMar DeRozan is so good. His handles are tight. But if these players can work on their handles and develop in that type of way and be more confident, it's a lot that the Bulls can unlock with their offense, especially with Patrick. Imagine the dynamic of having Patrick Williams also be a guy to bring the ball up the court. That will unlock so much for the Bulls. He did it slightly, occasionally, sometimes last year, but just a guy who's confidently, hey, DeMar, hey, Zach, get up the court. I got you. Bringing up down the court and just confident because he's already a good passer. Working on your ball handling, and your shooting. Of course, everybody knows, it's well documented how much the Bulls need to be better in shooting. They were last in the league. We brought some guys over that could shoot the threes, but it'd also be great if the guys that we have can shoot at a more increased rate. If we could become a better shooting team, that'd be awesome. But I feel like ball handling and shooting, those are the two keys for the Bulls. And I feel like the Bulls can get a lot better in that, then, they'll be a way better team going into the playoffs. So comment down below. Let me know, how do you guys feel? Do you guys feel the Bulls should bring back DeRozan? Or do you guys feel, they should let him go and work on the young players? I'm going to holler at you guys later. And don't forget to like this video as it helps me out a lot. And I'm out.